So a story is told about Reb Zushia from Annapolis, a beloved Hasidic rabbi who lived in the 1700s in northern Poland, a place that was not particularly friendly to its Jewish residents. One night, Reb Zushia left his house and he began to walk. Two big, burly policemen stopped him, and they asked, "Where are you going?" Zushia took a breath and replied, "I don't know." "That's ridiculous," they said. "What do you mean you don't know where you're going? Of course you know where you're going. Tell us," the policeman growled. "Tell us now, or there will be severe consequences." "I don't know," Zushia replied. "That's it," said the policeman, lunging forward to grab him by the shoulders. The two officers roughly grabbed him and took him off to prison and threw him behind bars. "Now," they roared, "now will you tell us the answer to the question, where are you going?" "I told you," Reb Zushia replied, "that I didn't know. And clearly I was right. I thought I was going to shul, but as you can clearly see, here I am in prison." If you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would not have been as wise as Reb Zushia. Based on a lifetime of being able to count on tomorrow being relatively similar to yesterday, I would have confidently projected what this week would be, what this Shabbat would be. And then, here we are. Who could imagine this moment that we find ourselves in? Unprecedented and uncertain. And so the question arises, how do we respond when suddenly everything we thought we knew changes? When suddenly tomorrow is not like yesterday, and the day after even more uncertain? I was struck by a contrast in two recent images that I saw. The first was a photo of the captain of the Diamond Princess cruise ship, which had been quarantined since late January. As Captain General Arma finally disembarked on March 2nd, he came off, cap in hand, tucked confidently under his arm, and he was the picture of calm, cool, and collected. The accompanying article affirmed that that picture, that wasn't just what we were seeing, that wasn't just for show. Through those 705 passengers becoming infected with COVID-19, 7 fatalities, and managing what reporters called a floating coronavirus prison, Captain Arma had been completely unflappable. He regularly checked in on passengers. He kept the crew's spirits up. He shared bad news with hopeful humor. And standing tall and proud, he was the last one off. Diamond Princess Cruise President Jan Schwartz quoted Arma as saying to the passengers, "A diamond is a piece of coal that does really well under pressure." Captain Arma was a true diamond. He was, in short, who all of us would want to be when faced with such a situation. But then there's the second image. This one from Star Market at 1 Boylston Street in Chestnut Hill at 5:30 on Thursday afternoon, just a short while after David Fleischman announced that schools would be closed. These are the shelves, empty. And not just that, every cart was filled. There were lines halfway down the store, and ironically, while everyone was stocking up to protect themselves from contagion, we were standing in line like this. Social distancing wasn't a thing. In all the ways that Captain Arma is heroic but not entirely accessible, Star Market at 5:30 after school closures is totally accessible, but not heroic, not who we want to be. The good news is that our Torah portion this morning gives us another option. After the trauma of the golden calf and the drama of Moses' anger, what's left are these perfect commandments that had been shattered. What was whole is now broken. And so Moses goes up again to craft new tablets, and he brings them back down whole. We don't often think about the next part, but our ancestors had a dilemma. What do they now do with those broken tablets? They were so holy, they were so perfect, they were so whole, and now they're shattered. What they decide to do is not only beautiful then, it's one of the most relevant teachings of the Torah for our time now. Our ancestors took the shattered pieces that emerged from that moment of anxiety and anger, and they placed them next to the whole pieces, the pieces of hope. They picked both of them up, and they carried them forward together. Alex and Jordan, today there is wholeness, and today there is brokenness. Alex, I look at you and I see wholeness. I see your parents, Greg and Andrea, sitting right next to you, kvelling, your brother Daniel and your loving grandparents filled with pride. You're yearning for a slower, sacred Shabbat manifest in this moment. And Jordan, I look at you and I see wholeness. Your parents, Sarah and Simi, bursting with blessing, watching you shine. Micah, who adores you, and your loving grandparents, the way that you earned your gifts and your blessing today, digging deep with humor and real heart. And I look out and I see brokenness, empty pews, and all that goes with them. Your Torah portion reminds us that this is the human condition. No one goes through life without shattered tablets. No one can be certain where we are going. But you want to know the good news? The good news is that we've got you. And we've got this moment. And this moment reminds us that even if we may not be as cool under pressure as Captain Arma, with the wisdom of our tablets, we don't have to give in to Star Market anxiety either. To live in extraordinary times, and we now live in extraordinary times, is to be called upon to be a disciple of Reb Zushia, open not just to where you're going, but to wherever you find yourself to be. To live in extraordinary times, and we now live in extraordinary times, is to be called upon, as our ancestors before us, to pick up both the brokenness and the wholeness of each moment and keep on moving. May that be our blessing. Shabbat shalom.